Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today I'm going to walk you through every phase of the usage and care of your Baume Mercier Clifton Club Burt Munro Tribute. This is an automatic winding watch that converts the energy of your wrist into spring energy via the rotor underneath the branded caseback. Underneath that Indian motorcycle logo, the rotor spins and winds the watch in the course of daily events, but should you wish to wind manually, you can easily do so by taking the crown in its first position, flush to the case, and turning it in a clockwise direction 20 to 30 turns. This will be sufficient to start the movement. You know the watch is running even if the chronograph isn't, because the constant seconds display at 9 o'clock will let you know the timepiece has begun to advance and the escapement is oscillating. Now, if you wish to continue winding the watch up to its maximum rated power reserve of 48 hours, you will find that you simply continue turning the crown. 50 turns should be sufficient to fully wind the watch, but if you want to listen for the audible cue, the slipping of the bridle-style mainspring, listen for a subtle click or tick within the watch. That's your sign that the bridle, which slips by design to relieve excess tension, has reached its limit and the watch is fully wound. You cannot accidentally overwind this automatic winding watch. Now, there are a couple of different ways to set the watch precisely. There's a quick set function for the date, so you can rapidly cycle the date should it run down, and there is also what's known as a hacking or stop seconds function. The way you use the stop seconds function is to find a known accurate online reference time. I always find an atomic clock to be the most precise. Make sure it's set to your particular time zone and then wait for the seconds hand, the constant seconds, not the chronograph, constant seconds, to arrive at the index at 12. When it's perfectly aligned at 12, that's when you want to pull the crown out 2 detents to its stop position outboard. So now you've stopped the balance, you've aligned the seconds hand with 12, you want to look at your reference time and you want to set the watch to the correct hour, and then you want to set it 1 minute ahead of your reference time. Wait for the reference time to catch up so that it precisely matches the hour, minute, and second you have displayed on your watch, then push the crown back in. Now you've synchronized the watch to a reference time. There's a way to set the date quickly should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. You pull the crown out 1 detent from winding, but still 1 detent inboard from stop seconds. At that point, you turn the crown in a clockwise direction and you rapidly cycle the date. It's important to note that this quick setting system should never be used between the hours of 8 p.m. and 3 a.m., as that is the period during which the watch is automatically jumping its date. It's a long engagement period. Any portion of time within that 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. span, if you try to use the quick set, you will crash the movement and cause damage. So be cognizant of the time of day whenever using the quick set. Now, this timepiece is a chronograph with a tachymeter scale bezel. Let's talk about the chronograph first. As you can see, the dial plainly labels chronograph minutes, chronograph hours, and the hand at center is a chronograph seconds hand. So it's not the constant seconds hand. Hours and minutes are cued to this hand right here at 9 o'clock. The center hand only runs when you're operating the chronograph. Now, every time that hand makes a circuit, the minute counter will jump. It's important to note that you start and you stop the chronograph using the pusher at 2, and the chronograph must always be stopped before pressing the reset trigger at 4 o'clock. If you attempt to reset a chronograph that's still running, you will severely damage the movement. It's also important to note that because this is what's known as a lateral clutch or traditional architecture chronograph, it's best only to run the chronograph for as many hours as are displayed on the largest register. So the largest register for the chronograph is at 6 o'clock and it displays 12 hours maximum elapsed time. Therefore, it's recommended not to run the chronograph continuously for more than 12 continuous hours. The tachymeter scale is used in concert with the chronograph seconds hand. When an object at high speed, such as a race car or a motorcycle, begins to cross a standing kilometer, so it crosses the threshold of the beginning, you start the chronograph. Now, when it crosses the end of the standing kilometer, you stop the chronograph, and then you read the numeral 240 that's directly opposite the chronograph seconds hand. And because this is kilometers, with the exception of the single calibration, the Burt Munro tribute, we are reading 240 kilometers per hour. So in the roughly 15 seconds it took for our high-speed motorcycle to transit that standing kilometer, we know that it averaged 240 kilometers per hour. There are 3 principal areas of hazard with respect to the use of your watch. Water, magnetism, and shock. Let's talk about water first because it's the single greatest hazard your timepiece will face. This watch is water resistant per Baume Mercier and case back labeling to 50 meters. 50 meters is sufficient for surface exposure, but it's important to note that leather, as featured on the strap, is a natural porous material that is never water resistant. Therefore, ensure that the leather strap is dried immediately and optimally never exposed to moisture. It's also important to note that you can help avoid accidental drowning. Never wind the watch, set the watch, or actuate the chronograph pushers while the watch is submerged or while there is water on the case, as all of these activities can bypass the seals and introduce moisture to the interior of the watch, and once in, it never leaves. Moreover, water resistance, unlike mechanical specifications, does not represent a static feature of your watch, and as seals age and lubricants degrade, your watch will be relatively less water resistant over time. Therefore, Baume Mercier recommends at least every 24 months, but preferably every 12, having the watch dry water tested at an authorized service center. This is also a good time to have total condition, cosmetic, as well as chronometric performance evaluated by your Baume Mercier authorized service center. Magnetism is unseen but ubiquitous. You'll find it in high-powered electronic systems as found in the home and office, powerful static magnets such as speakers, subwoofers, or the closures of purses, wallets, or refrigerator doors. Magnetism can cause your watch to run erratically, either very slow or very quickly. It's important to note that should your watch become magnetized, or should you suspect your watch has become magnetized, you can take it to an authorized Baume Mercier service center where specialized equipment is available to quickly and easily demagnetize the hairspring inside your watch. Shock and concussion can cause far more damage than magnetism. Whereas magnetism can be easily reversed, shock and concussion can, at minimum, alter the timing of your watch, but maximally may damage case components and even stop your movement. Therefore, it's important to ensure the watch is disused during high-impact sports such as batting, tennis, or golf, firearms marksmanship, or the riding of ATVs and mountain bikes. Every fine mechanical timepiece ultimately requires a comprehensive service. Baume Mercier recommends every 3 to 5 years having your watch fully overhauled by an authorized service center or the factory itself. It's important to note that these agencies solely have the trained personnel, specialized tools, and original Baume Mercier factory replacement parts to protect the value of your watch as both an instrument and as an investment. Moreover, only these agencies can back all labor and parts invested with a Baume Mercier factory service warranty. Ultimately, you're going to want to visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the usage and care of this or any Baume Mercier timepiece.